Hey guys, so I've had a cold air intake on my '09 Dodge Charger for a while now, but never actually made an installation video, so that's what I'm doing today. This will pretty much be the same procedure on any Dodge Challenger, Charger, 300 or Magnum from this era with the 3.5 liter V6. I think that this is a great first mod to get you going performance wise for any car, and while it won't add a ton of horsepower or power gains, it's a nice bolt-on mod to start with, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is to install yourself with just some basic tools. So I do have the K&N Cold Air Intake for the 3.5 liter V6, and I'll leave a link in the description below if you do want to check that out. And if you want my full thoughts on what it did, make sure to check out the review I made a while back when I first got it, link in the top right corner. It seemed to have just a bit more pickup and better sound too, but this video is just about the installation, so let's get on with it. So here are all the parts that the cold air intake came with. I did buy this locally off another Mopar owner, so some of the pieces were already assembled as you can see, but I'll do my best to explain everything, and the only tools needed are the basic ones that I'm showing up on the screen. The very first thing to do is disconnect the negative battery cable while you're doing the install. On these Chrysler vehicles, there's just a 10mm bolt to remove, then the cable will come loose. This will erase the memory in the computer and force the car to compensate for the added airflow into the engine and adapt accordingly so the cold air intake can be better recognized by your car's adaptive system. Basically, the PCM will learn how to run properly again because it has learned how to run with a stock intake and needs to relearn with the new intake. Then you have to take the old intake out. On this car, you just have to unlock the red tab on the air temperature sensor, which is also called the mass airflow sensor, and pull that out. And then take your flathead screwdriver and loosen the hose clamp, keeping the intake tube secured to the throttle body, and then pull it off. And you can also pull off the crankcase vent hose as well. Now there's a 10mm bolt that keeps the airbox in place that you'll want to remove. The plastic around the bolt on my car is a little bit broken, so it might look different than normal, but once that's off you can take off the whole stock air intake. Now there's a saddle clamp and tube mounting bracket. This was already assembled, but it's very easy to put together. This goes in a hole near the cylinder head, and you will need a 17mm socket to secure the bolt and bracket in place. This is meant to hold up the cold air intake tube. Now you'll need to install the edge trim on the heat shield, put the adapter onto the heat shield, and install the actual filter on this piece as well. It's already done, but it was another easy step. Next you'll need to take out the mass airflow sensor out of the stock intake tube that you've already removed. It's tough to get it out. You'll kind of need to pry it gently and be very careful that you don't damage the sensor since it is very fragile and breaks easily. At the end of the K&N tube there's a spot for the mass airflow sensor, so you'll insert it there. You also have to install an elbow on the other side, which will be used to plug the hose into later on. Now one silicone band, or the technical term for it is a silicone hose, must go on either end of the intake tube. The first one goes on the throttle body side with the two silver clamps, and that allows you to connect the tube right to the throttle body, and then you just tighten them both with your screwdriver or your socket. There's also a larger silver clamp that's around the intake tube, and that's used to tighten around the saddle clamp to keep everything securely in place. There's also another silicone band for the other side like I said, with two more clamps. This is where you attach the air filter assembly and make sure to position it so that the one side that doesn't really stick out is at the top. There's really only one way to fit it properly where you can actually close the hood. Also, make sure to tighten it really good so that the filter doesn't fall off while driving or anything like that. The last few things you need to do are plug in the silicone vent hose back into that elbow on the intake tube, reconnect the air temperature sensor harness, and reconnect the negative battery cable. And after that you're all done and you can enjoy your new cold air intake.
Off now.
Hopefully that video was helpful. Like I said, this is an easy mod that can get you started on modifying your car. Super easy to do yourself and not too expensive. Make sure to like and subscribe for all your Mopar content, and I'll see you next video.